Hey, welcome everyone. This is Mike from zozostockwatch.com, and this is going to be your stock watch list for the 6th of December, Thursday. Let's go ahead and get into it. So today, Wednesday, the markets were closed out of respect for President Bush Sr., his passing and funeral. But Tuesday, we had a very ugly day in the markets. The Dow Jones was down about 800 points on the day. We were watching the SPY for basing and the next leg up. This is the daily chart of the SPY that you're looking at. We were basing under that 280. And then basically the algos kicked in on Tuesday, drove us back down to the middle of the range. The SPY is sitting around the 10 SMA on the daily chart and around that 270 level. That's the level that's being watched right now. The IWM. We'll take a look at that real fast on the daily chart. The IWM continues to be worrisome. It lagged the market bounce and is back near the lows here, and that 145 area is coming soon. So we're going to be watching that on the IWM. Now, it is about 5 minutes to 5 my time, Eastern time. So the futures do not open until 6 p.m. Eastern time this evening. So we don't know where the futures or what direction they're going to head into. Yesterday, FANG stock shed about 140 billion in the Tuesday market rout. We had Facebook fell 2.2%, Amazon fell 5.9%, Apple fell 4.4%, Netflix fell 5.2%, and Google Alphabet fell 4.8%. And this is the implied market value that they lost on Tuesday. Now, as far as the banks, they also the banks stocks fall the most since June 16th and enter into a bear market. We'll take a look at the XLF. Utilities were up. Utility stocks soared to the highest level in a year as investors rushed for safe havens in the utility stock. So as I said, the Dow Jones was down close to 800 points on Tuesday. The transports were down 476 points on Tuesday. The Nasdaq Composite down 283 points. The S&P 500, we were down 90 points on that, and we're right around that 2,700 spot on the SPX. So the Qs also were down 3.3%. Most of the markets were down 3 to 4% on Tuesday. Very ugly day. If we take a look at the percent change up, you could see volatility was up the most, up 26%. Gold Nougat was up 2.2%. TLT, when the TLT rises, bond yields move down. The SLV was up a tad. GLD gold was up a bit, and JNUG was up about 0.5%. Light sweet crude oil on Tuesday was up about 0.5% on Tuesday. Now, this is a weekly chart that you're looking at for the S&P 500. You can see right now around that 2603 area, 2646 area would be about a 10% correction in the market. So we're a little bit off from that. But if you look at the weekly chart here on the SPY, we are back below the 10 SMA on the weekly chart and staying below our trend up line. You see we kind of came up to it. We came up to the 20 SMA on the weekly chart and we pulled back from that. Kind of bear flagging here on the SPX 500, but we are still only in a little bit less than a 10% correction right now. 20% would put us down here at around 2300 area for about a 20% correction on the daily chart of the SPX 500. We came down to the 10 SMA and the 2700 area for the S&P 500. Let's go to the news that came out after the bell on Tuesday. So we had NOC announcing a 3 billion share repurchase authorization. That news came out Tuesday. The API crude oil numbers came out. And those numbers came out with a build of 5.4 million. Then there that night on Tuesday night, we were getting some comments from Navarro, one of Trump's cabinet members. Says premature to lose faith in U.S.-China trade talks. Navarro says let's give China talks a chance. Important to get it right. He was making those comments on Fox News. Navarro expects progress in access structural changes in China. And then President Trump this morning on Wednesday morning was tweeting out, we are either going to have a real deal with China or no deal at all, at which point we will be charging major tariffs against Chinese product being shipped into the United States. Ultimately, I believe we will be making a deal either now or into the future. Then after that, he tweeted, China does not want tariffs. And then last night, China to implement specific items agreed upon, meeting China to push forward trade negotiations with U.S. in 90 days. And then this morning we had a CNAT announced results from Encore Phase 2 study trial. It was a fail on that study. CNAT did a conference call this morning on Wednesday morning at 8:30. Also this morning, Donald Trump was tweeting out China has agreed to start immediately buying U.S. products. China officially echoed President Trump's optimism over bilateral trade talks. Chinese officials have begun preparing to restart imports of U.S. soybeans and liquefied natural gas, a first sign confirming the claims of President Donald Trump and the White House that China has agreed to start immediately buying U.S. products. So that was a little bit out of order there. MDXG announces workforce reduction by approximately 240 full-time employees. Deutsche Bank cuts its forecast for a number of Fed rate hikes for 2019 from 4 to 3. With the Fed taking a break from their gradually quarterly pace of tightening, most likely in quarter 3. Then Donald Trump tweeted out on Wednesday morning, very strong signals being sent by China once they returned home from their long trip, including stops from Argentina. Not to sound naive or anything, but I believe President Xi meant every word of what he said at our long and hopefully historic meeting, all subjects discussed. One of the very exciting things to come out of the meeting with Xi, China, is his promise to me to criminalize the sale of deadly fentanyl coming into the United States. It will now be considered a controlled substance. This could be a game changer on what is considered to be the worst and most dangerous, addictive, and deadly substance of them all. And then he goes on to give some statistics there. Some other news that came out on Wednesday, OMED proposed combination of Merio Biopharma and OncoMed Pharmaceuticals. We had CPST secures 1,000 signature series unit order for Australia's leading oil and gas exploration. XXII 22nd Century files pre-market tobacco application with the FDA. We also got a tweet from Trump talking about oil. Hopefully OPEC will be keeping oil flows as is not restricted. The world does not want to see or need higher oil prices. Russia has agreed to oil output cut. That's from the Oman minister. Also today we had Citi warns of quarter 4 market revenue will unexpectedly shrink from last year. All right, so that coming out from Citi. MNTA 150 million offering. SUPN scheduled CC conference call for tomorrow, Thursday at 7 a.m. To present top-line results of 2 phase 3 studies. Tesla opened up Model 3 orders in Europe today, Deliveries will begin in early next year. We did have some earnings come out today. Five Below beats by 3 cents, beats on revenue. Okta beats by 7 cents, beats on revenue. Synapsys SNPS earnings per share in line, beats on revenue. HDSN beats by 12 cents, beats on revenue. CLDR beats by 8 cents, beats on revenue. GEF misses by 9 cents, misses on revenue, and Okta reports quarter three beat and upside guidance. So some earnings that came out Wednesday today. All this news courtesy of the Trade Exchange. So here's my watch list for tomorrow for Thursday. First one up is AETI. We had nice volume in it on Tuesday. We had 30 million shares come into this stock. We actually traded it in the service at Zozo StockWatch. The stock popped up. We got a nice move out of it. So this will be back on watch for Thursday. ANY will also be on watch for Thursday. 2.2 million shares came into that one. ASNS is holding up here, flagging. So ASNS holding above the 5 EMA here. So this one will be on watch for Thursday. AYTU, let me open up my charts here. As you can see, starting to turn back up. We are still below the 50 SMA here. It's been basing for a while, maybe turning back up, might get that gap fill in this name, so AYTU will be on watch. Volume was a little bit light for me on this one, but we'll keep it on watch. CFRX, 1.4 million shares. You can see it's starting to try to break out here over this 250 spot here on CFRX, so that'll be on watch for Thursday. CRON will be on watch. Takeover chatter around this name, or maybe Altria is going to take a position or a stake in this name on Cronus Group, CRON. You see the big volume that's come in here. We came up as high as 12. We had this inside day on Tuesday with all the selling going on. It held up pretty well, so CRON will be on watch. GBT has been very strong. This one will be on watch for Thursday. GOOS, Goose, they make those winter coats. This one will be on watch, basing below $70 a share. Actually held up pretty good with all that selling going on Tuesday. So GOOS will be on watch. This HDSN, now they just had earnings. They just reported earnings. They beat by 12 cents, beat on revenue. This one had a strong day on Tuesday, so this will be on watch. 1.3 million shares to see if we get an earnings play out of that one. NBEV has been holding up okay. This will be on watch. Another cannabis play. NTEC, very strong stock. You see on Tuesday, this stock just kept moving up. We'll be watching for an intraday play on this name. Maybe we'll get some type of red to green. NTEC. Another one we'll be watching is NVIDIA. Now, after all the comments by President Trump and China trying to, move the talks forward, maybe we get a bounce. So NVIDIA, I'll be watching that one for a possible bounce entry on Thursday. OGEN, this one holding up well. We're basing under that $1.50 number. 4.8 million shares came into this name on OGEN. So this will be on watch for Thursday. ONCS was perking up a little bit, 1.1 million shares. It's holding above the 10 SMA here, trying to get above and hold above the 5 EMA. Not in love with this one, but I'll keep it on watch. PCG. This one trying to turn the corner. Maybe if it gets up over that 2750 area on PCG, so keeping an eye on that one. Red Hat had big earnings, popped up, gave some of it back. We'll see if there's any kind of intraday setup on Restoration Hardware. I think I said Red Hat, but it's Restoration Hardware. Their earnings came out on Monday. They gave it a big gap up, but because of the market conditions, it pulled back down. So we'll be watching Restoration Hardware. Square also Watching this one for a possible bounce. TECD, last week they had very good, strong earnings come out. We got this big pop up. We're still holding above the earnings gap here on TECD, so this one will be on watch. TWLO will also be on watch. You see it had issues here at that 97.55 area. They pulled it back a little bit on Tuesday, but very strong stock. So watching TWLO for a possible entry as a swing trade or intraday trade on TWLO. So the banks got hit hard on Tuesday, and then Citigroup came out with that news. Citi warns quarter four market revenue will unexpectedly shrink from last year. So that came out today, Wednesday. So as you can see here, the banks were very weak. You can join me if you're new to my room for $30 for 30 days. Just use coupon code 30 for 30, and you could be in my room for 1 month for $30. All right, this is Mike from zozostockwatch.com. Have a very nice evening and have a good day trading Thursday.